Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Vapid Flash GT in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now the Flash GT is a pretty cool car, but it does have a couple of issues. Regardless of that though, we are customizing it today. We're going to do a full customization and review. Starting off with the armor, we're going to go all the way up on that. The brakes as well for sure. The engine all the way up as well. We're going to need that. That is a spoiler with this car. Now for the exhaust options, we do have some pretty cool ones. We got the twin middle exit exhausts here. We got the single big bore, which is very strange because it's in the middle. I feel like that's really ugly. Or of course we do have the side exits with the chrome or with the carbon. We're gonna go for the side exits with the carbon. Now for the front bumper, we do have some pretty cool options here. We are probably gonna go for the carbon race splitter on this thing. For the hood, we do have some more options here, of course. We can go for the race hood. I think that's what we're going to go for. It's got the hood scoop there, so I think it looks pretty cool. For the headlights, we are going to go xenon, of course, as well. Now for the livery, we do have several options here, which is pretty nice. The Zero RC4 looks really cool in my opinion. Cell Tower looks pretty cool as well. Pisswasser, of course. Globe Oil. Ooh, there's some pretty sick liveries here. I don't know, Globe Oil number 7 is kind of striking me right now, so we're going to grab that one. Now for the plate, we are going to go yellow on black, of course. For the respray on this thing, that is a good question. I don't know what color we're going to make this. I feel like it looks so good in the ice white, but I don't want to be boring and just leave it ice white, so let's check out the crew color. I don't know how I feel about the yellow and the red there. It kind of looks sick, but it's also kind of like, I don't know. We'll go for it, but we might end up changing that later. We'll have to see. Secondary color, we're going to go for the crew color as well. For the interior trim, we're just going to go black. I don't want to do anything like too crazy with this. Now for the roof, we do have some options here. We can add roof scoops to this thing. Let's go for the carbon scoop just to break up the color on the roof a little bit. Sun strips, we do have rapid racing. We got globe oil, Chapal. We'll go for vapid racing because it also says that on the wing too, which is pretty cool. Now for the side skirts, we have several different options here. We're probably going to go for the carbon subtle skirt. I like that one, it caught my eye, so we'll go for that. We got the livery stock wing here. We can also add the carbon stock wing, secondary paint street wing, livery street wing. Ooh, that's kind of sick looking. Or of course we can go for the livery track wing. Now the livery track wing is kind of extreme, but I kind of like it, so we're going to go for that. For the suspension, I'm actually going to leave this thing raised all the way up because I have a plan for this car. By the time you guys are seeing this customization, you will already kind of probably know what the plan was. Raised transmission, we're going to go for that. For the turbo as well, let's go for that too. For the wheels, now I think I'm going to put some off-roads on this thing. This will probably be another pretty good hint as to what we're doing with this vehicle. So we're going to go for the Concave Rally Master. That's my favorite rim for the off-roads. Now for the color of the wheel, I kind of want to go for something a bit bright. I feel like the yellow kind of looks good. Let's do yellow just to match up with the livery a little bit. I don't really like yellow rims personally, but I feel like it's an okay look for this thing. Now we are going to leave the window tint off of this vehicle, even though it does look pretty good with it on. It is more of a racing car, so we're just going to leave it alone. Let's take this thing outside. We're going to do a sound test and a full review. Sounds pretty good, it's not bad, that's for sure. Now, the Vapid Flash GT, as I mentioned when we first started the customization, does have a couple of issues, and one of those issues is this car suffers from engine resistance, which is a feature within GTA that limits a vehicle's engine output, or engine power output rather, but they did not alter the sound of it, so it sounds like this thing should be going about 300 miles an hour right now, but of course we're not going that fast. All the vehicles with engine resistance all have very, very weak top speeds. They have okay acceleration, but the acceleration has suffered unfortunately as well. The only thing that hasn't suffered as a result of engine resistance is the handling of the vehicles, but regardless of any of that, it is just an unfortunate thing that some vehicles in GTA have this in the first place. Now with that being said, the Vapid Flash GT does have pretty poor acceleration and it also has a pretty poor top speed. However, the handling of this vehicle is pretty decent and on the road, it's a pretty decent vehicle overall. Now the Flash GT is actually a pretty decent rally car within Grand Theft Auto Online, and that's not really something that's super popular to do with this car, but because of its pretty short wheelbase and its okay acceleration and its good handling, it does make for a pretty damn good rally car. Obviously, now that I've said this, I think you guys could probably figure out what I was doing when I was customizing this vehicle. Yep, it's in the rally cars video that I made the other day, when you guys are seeing this, of course. I actually have yet to make the video at this point. Overall, the Vapid Flash GT, if it didn't have engine resistance, it would be a much better car. However, it is still good at some things like rallying, for example. The Vapid Flash GT is pretty good at that because it is four-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive rather. So it definitely does have an advantage over a lot of cars in the game when it comes to rallying for sure. Also, it has pretty decent ground clearance, not as good as some other cars in the game, but it is pretty damn good nonetheless. Obviously, you can set this car up for being a rally car, or you can set it up for being a road car, or a hybrid of both really if you want to. Overall, the Vapid Flash GT does go for about $1.7 million, which is an extreme amount of money considering the performance of this thing is really not the greatest ever. And you'd be much better off if you're looking for a rally car to go for something like the Fister Comet Safari that I reviewed the other day. It is a much better overall car, but nonetheless a much better rally car as well. Now, with that being said, I still do like the Vapid Flash GT, but I want to be honest, I want you guys to understand that this car is not the greatest performing vehicle ever. As much as anybody who's watching this video may like it or may not like it, the Flash GT is just not that great of a car. Anyway guys, that is pretty much it for the customization and the review today. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.